Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another one of our sneak previews for the Bull City International Film Festival. I'm Hannah Silverman, and today I'm joined with Ryan Miller, Micah Hearn, and Brandon Paris, who are the creators of Death Drop Gorgeous. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So I always start off with the easy question. What got you guys into filmmaking?
Oh man. It sounds easy in theory, but it's like a question. When I was a kid, I had my best friend's father worked for the cable access studio, so I had like access to cameras when I was like really young, and I think we just like made weird movies then. So that's how I started. So, but that's very specific to me.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Like when I was growing up, like my friends, I would fuck around and make short films and stuff, and we just, been in horror movies for a very long time, and just kind of wanted to, make, create our own, make the change that we wanted to see in horror, start getting some new fun stuff out there.
Yeah, I think the idea for this movie in particular was like our first feature film, like any sort of big project at all for any of us, and it was actually I wasn't involved so much with like the writing or the inception of it. That was more like Brandon and Chris Dalpy, who's not here, and Mike. And I think like it started as like a wild idea at the beginning, right? Like it was just based somewhat on experience, and then like cool, fictional and mythological stories, and then the story just sort of there. And then one day you guys were like, why don't we just film this? And yeah, it was kind of like literally the kind of like a fly-by-night decision, which turned into a really cool like 5-year long project. So
Yeah.
We thought it was only going to take a couple years. God.
We figured it out along the way, though.
I was curious, like, what did inspire you guys to tell this particular story?
Well, there's a few things. Me and the other creator, Chris, that's not here, we were kind of like joking around about like how easy these sex apps are at first. But if the serial killer wanted to like do their thing, these apps are made for them. So we were like kind of wondering like why there's not a horror movie made about these things yet. So we kind of messed around with the idea, and then we brought it up to a couple of friends, including Mike, and then we just kind of elaborated on it. We knew that there was like a shortage of queer horror. So we wanted to kind of get something out there that hasn't been seen or done yet. In the city of Providence as well, as you see in the movie, it's like very well represented. Really big, thriving dragon art scene here too. So we thought like it would be a perfect stage to kind of create this film and showcase some of the talent that's in our city.
Yeah. So what kind of challenges did you find that you had to overcome while taking on this project? Because you said it was for 5 years.
Yeah, well, we filmed on nights and weekends, and we just kind of worked around people's schedules. I think the biggest hurdle was financially. We fundraised our entire budget, and that included like not just GoFundMe's, but like in-person like fundraisers at some of the like clubs and bars here in Providence.
What was the process for that? Like just finding like any sort of revenue that you could to put into this production?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, we're well, Brandon's been here for a very long time, so he's the city of Providence is pretty tiny, and so that I think was an advantage for us. There's a lot of connections, and yeah, we just have the city of Providence was great, and they just kind of like were down to let us use their spaces, down to like participate in the movie. So we were very lucky in that regard.
Like we held fun like drag events at the bars where they would have raffles and people would donate like gift baskets, and so then we might be able to raise like a couple $1,000s doing something like that, and that's on top of like the GoFundMe. So I mean, I'd say like half of our money was maybe raised through like crowdsourcing GoFundMe style stuff, and then half of it was through like actual in-person sort of like fun drag night, dance night things that we put on, where we were able to get money at the door, or money through raffles or whatever. So
we did like we wrote and produced an entire murder mystery that was a fundraiser at this giant mansion here called the Barnaby Castle. We did a Westminster style dog show-esque kind of thing with like, human pups. So we had like a talent portion, and the dogs did some tricks. And then just like random just like drag nights and stuff. Like we had a Valentine's Day themed one for actually around this time like 5 years ago. So that was kind of fun too.
Wow, that's yeah.
I'll also just say real quick in terms of challenges, I think that like on the production side, like that covers like a lot of the challenges that we face, but also after filming the movie, I mean, like the sort of editing process and like getting everything in place there took an additional like year and a half, 2 years, because it was something that none of us had really done before. So we were all sort of like learning how to do this as we were going along. So like sort of every step of the way, we were having to figure out like from scratch, how do we do this?
We have some friends help too. Philip Gillette, he's a screenwriter and a filmmaker. He lives in Providence as well. So he helped us with some ideas and some help film some stuff too. Roman and Tyler from the Scream Queen documentary about Nine Elm Street 2 stepped in and helped us a lot with editing. And Roman's like a genius with sound design and came in and kind of like helped us with sound. So we definitely had a little help along the way from some people that were interested in the project and wanted to see this.
Wow, it sounds like you guys had a very eclectic kind of experience just putting this together.
Oh yeah, a lot of yeah.
So what advice do you have like for any young filmmakers who are watching this interview to kind of look forward to when they were starting on their projects?
Biggest advice I can give anyone is do what's going to make you happy. Don't worry about what other people are going to think. Fuck everyone, honestly. Like if art it's something that you want to make makes you happy, just do it. One of some of our inspirations were like the movie Tangerine. They filmed all on iPhones. There's non-actors in the movie, and that movie's fucking incredible. And movies like Driller Killer, like Abel Ferreira, like doing this stuff, like on his spare time, and making these like great movies out of nothing. I think a lot of people are really scared to like let loose and are worried what other people think. But if you do that, you're never gonna know what's gonna happen if you don't create it. So just do it.
Yeah, I think the biggest like I don't know assistance we had is that this has been such a collaborative effort. Like I don't think a single like me myself could never have done this alone, like as just like a sole director or something. I think I think my advice would be there are other people around you and other artists that like want to also create, and like once you get that ball rolling, it's really exciting and it kind of keeps you motivated. So my advice is to like reach out and see who else is like down to take 5 years of their life to make a movie.
And there's also no rules. Art is subjective. There's zero rules. Like you don't have to follow any structure or script or guideline. You just do your thing.
I'll also add that like in terms of like the production side of it can seem super daunting. And I mean, yeah, like it can take a long time and a lot of like invested effort, but like for anybody who's sort of scared of that, just know like the resources, like online resources even, are out there. And you can totally do it. I mean, like it was our first time. If you want to, film something, you don't have to have super expensive equipment. Like Brandon said, you could film with an iPhone. If you want to learn about like cinematography, YouTube videos that are like 10 minutes long that teach you basics of things. If you want like to use editing, find out how to do editing, there's free editing software. Like we use DaVinci Resolve, and it's free. And it's like it handles with, it's editing, it's color, it's sound. So really like it might take you a couple of weeks to like get the hang of it, but once you've got it, like you can do it,
DaVinci Resolve is amazing. It's just as good as the other big editing programs, and like Brian was saying, it's free. You can download it. It's excellent.
That sounds great. So to kind of just end our interview on my favorite question, what do you guys plan to do next?
Well, right now we're working on our second production. It's another horror movie, a little different than Death Drop. It won't be as over the top, I think, this time around. We've learned to like scale it back a little bit. So yeah, we're working on our next production. It's a horror movie called Saint Drogo. We're really excited for. And we have a bunch of other things in the works.
Yeah. We have a weird cable access show that's going to be on YouTube in the works. We have a music video that we made for a local band in the works. I guess there's be some stuff popping up around here.
Yeah.
We intend on making more films. Like we have another script, full-length script that we wrote that we haven't. We're putting sort of on the back burner and hopefully produce it in the future. But yeah, we plan on doing a lot of creative projects in the next few years. So
we're always looking for funders and producers.
Isn't everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for doing our interview today. Everyone tune back in to the Bull City International Film Festival coming in March.